Last day in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. We're on the road to North Carolina. And we're driving down by where all these distilleries are. Let's see, whose is this? Jim Beam. Here's the Jim Beam distillery. Right there. That's where they make corn juice. We did this drive a couple of years ago, going to North Carolina. Wow, that's a big place, man. Look at how big that is. You can actually come here and tour that stuff. We're usually, by the time we're ready to go, we're so tired. We haven't got the energy to do it. At least I did. We went to dinner last night, which was awesome. Went to Roadhouse, which was good. And now here we are. We're traveling. Got to get used to driving again. My wrists are all wiped out from pulling boxes, fireworks out of boxes. I wanted to clean the motorhome while we were there, but
it's hard to do when it's like 115 degrees.
Yeah, well, I was
200% humidity.
I was busy fixing other things. Fixed the steps, they're working good. AC's blowing ice cold.
New 6-pin connector for the electric.
And did the air dryer.
Yeah.
And a bunch of little stuff. All the big stuff got fixed. We're on the road. Those of you thinking about becoming RVers, just know 25% of your life is going to be fixing stuff. It's the way it is. 5% doing laundry.
Yeah, the same thing living in a house.
Yeah, houses still. You know, this thing, it's like a rolling earthquake. It shakes everything to death, so. Is that water? It's not hot with all that on it. It's a little fun. Looks like it's a caliper. Air conditioning went out and the compressor and everything on that. Now that's working. And time we got it going. Ow! Just in case it decides to drop. Land on that. It's hot.
Yeah.
It hasn't been on fire for an hour and it's burning. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while. We've been busy. We've been in Kentucky and we've been in North Carolina. We've been in Georgia. We've been all over the country. And we just been busy doing things, working and stuff like that, and I thought I'd do a video today because for those of you that know me, you would look at my truck right now and say, what the heck, that's not your truck. And yeah, it's true. It's kind of not my truck. It was my truck before, but we had a calamity of errors happen to it on our way to Georgia. Well, actually, we had a problem with a motorhome with the AC compressor going out on that. I spent a lot of time working on equipment this trip. It's been one of the worst times. Well, I wouldn't say the worst, but pretty close to it. But the worst for the truck. And if you see, I got the spare wheel on the front and tire. The whole front of the truck is just wiped out, man. It's just a mess. And we went to my son's and I fixed the AC compressor on the motorhome, and we were leaving there to go to Georgia, and we got about 80 miles from his house, and we made a right-hand turn and we heard bam, big loud boom. So I immediately pulled over and stopped and got out, and I looked at the motorhome. I couldn't see anything wrong, and I walked down around to the front of the truck and I could see it was sitting like this. And what it was, the front tire had exploded, and I can show you that tire. Anyway, there's my tire, and yeah, as you can tell, it really kaboomed. And as we were standing there looking at it, all of a sudden Darla yelled and said, "We're on fire, the truck's on fire." And what had happened is this fine piece of junk right here, and you can see it's still pushed out. What had happened, we were at my son's house and I hooked it up, and it was given, he goes through this little cycle thing, and then it was doing that, and it was showing that it wasn't working right. So what I did is because we needed to go, I just shut it off, and we did a light test, and the brake lights weren't staying on or anything, so we knew this thing was relieved. Well, as we were driving, this thing started walking out, and it loaded the brakes, and it wasn't releasing, and hence the front brake calipers got really, really hot. In fact, here's one of the rotors. I got rid of the other stuff, but that's how hot the rotors got. Burned up the calipers, burned the brakes, so we're just melted. And the wheel bearings, so we got it off the road. We parked in the cemetery parking lot. And when my son came and took me over to AutoZone, and we got the parts, most of the parts. I got a wheel bearing assembly for the front, got new rotors, got new brake calipers, but I couldn't get two. They didn't have two of the wheel bearing assembly. So we just changed out the left side because it was gone. And then we went to Georgia and we finished the job there. And it ended up being not only all that, but then when we got all done, tried to bleed the brakes, the brake lines were leaking. So I had to get new brake lines. And also the tie rod end on this side was just like super loose after having burned. So I got new tie rod ends, and we took it over to a Mavis auto alignment. And so far I want to say positive, really positive about them, because they've been really straight up and straightforward with us. But the truck was supposed to be done around 10 or 10:30 in the morning, and at noon it still wasn't done. And then they finally called, said, yeah, it's good, we were eating lunch. So we went over, I got dropped off, and the wife and the kids and everybody went back to the house. And when I walked in and I started talking to the service guy, Jeffrey, who's a good guy, excellent guy. No matter how things turn out, he was 100% all the way. And he said, I got a little bad news for you. And I said, well, what's that? And he says, well, let me take you outside and show you. So what happened is apparently the guy that was working there doing the alignment, this was like his first week, and he wasn't real familiar with the equipment. And he had thought he had the lift all the way down, and he didn't, and he backed the truck off. And when he did, he crushed the bottom on this side. And then if you come around over here, you got this side too. So both sides are pretty whacked. And I mean, the only damage to this truck in 18 years we've owned it is I got one little hail damage on the roof and one little hail damage right here, and that's the only thing. And I just kind of left it because I figured, okay, that just kind of tells the story of the truck. But this I definitely want to get fixed. So he was right up front. He told me all about it. He said he'd already talked to the manager of the company, the general manager, and he said that he would take care of it. So today, as soon as we get done making this little video, we're going to run over and get a body shop estimate for it and send it off to Tracy, who's the manager there, and see what he says. See if he says to go ahead and just get her done. And I need to get, I got another tire. I changed my tires before they wore out, so they make good spares. So I got another good spare I'm going to put on here. So, but I want to clean the truck up first before I take it in for all that stuff. But anyway, it was a very, and then we got stuck on 75 miles of the worst friggin' road in Mississippi, and it was late. Luckily it was a full moon, so I had a little bit more eyesight, but it was just, I was just beat to death, and my shoulders were killing me, and my neck was hurting me, and my arms were sore, and it was going ta-tuk, 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 ta-tuk. And we came up, we were coming down this road, and all of a sudden, little road too. I mean, it was really narrow. That motorhome was barely on that road. And there was a truck scale, and I pulled in there real quick, and it said no parking, no parking, no parking, and then it didn't say anything. So we just pulled down to the end, kind of curled up, and parked, and laid down and went to bed, and it was real quiet except for when something went by going tuk-tuk, tuk-tuk, tuk-tuk. And we woke up in the morning. It was beautiful. It wasn't as pretty as here, but it was pretty nice. And fired up, got dressed, had breakfast, everything. Fired up, went down, made a right-hand turn, got on the road again, and went maybe 2 miles. And here's a beautiful big bridge, goes over the Mississippi River into Helena, Arkansas. And then once we got in Arkansas, the roads were really great. Wasn't too bad a day, but that first day was horrible. So anyway, you just never know, when you're out on the road, what you're going to run into, and you never know where you're going to stay at night. It is definitely getting tougher because Walmart's all over. They're just states are saying no more Walmart parking. So you could still stay at Flying J's for sure. And we found a little tiny gas station, and I went in. I filled the fuel tank, and I went in to get a receipt, and I just asked the guy, and I said, "Do you know where there's someone somewhere down the road here where we could just pull over and park for maybe 8 hours to get some sleep?" I go, "I'm really tired." This was the night before we got to my daughter's, and he said, "You know what? Just pull over there on my parking lot over here." He goes, "I own the place. You can just park right over there along that take up all those parking spots and park over there and spend the night, man." I said, "Well, I need to run my generator." He said, "Run your generator. I don't care." So that's what we did. And I mean, so you meet terrific people, and kind of opens the door for positive feelings about people, and things like that happen. So it's not everybody, and it's not everywhere, and it's not everything, but there are bad spots. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching again. Like I say, it's been a while. We're still kind of doing a little reevaluating of the channel. where we go from here. We did do a live the other night. A lot of you people have already heard this story, but I thought you might want to see it too and see how bad my truck looks, because it's never looked like this before. I've never had it this dirty and yucky looking. Anyway, we're going to get her all cleaned up, and then I'm going to get her over to that body shop and get it fixed, and then going to go out on the road again and do it again. Okay, well, there she is. She's washed up, looks back to normal pretty much. So this is what my truck always looks like. But I noticed this, and this is going to take a little rub out to get off of there. I don't know what that is. Anyway, pretty much.
Probably brake fluid.
Nah, I don't think so. But anyway, she's cleaned up. I need to do a little cleaning on the inside, and I need to clean the black beast over here. But yeah, we got the camp set up. I've been picking up twigs and weed whacking, and brought the barbecue out, and the fire pit, and the log hauler, and yeah, you can see where I missed. See where I missed cleaning? Right there and right there. Anyway, it's only a first washing. And it's pretty here. That mimosa tree, it's a pretty tree, man. I like the way they look. Beautiful. Look at that rotor. Oh my gosh. I think it's scary looking now. You should have seen it when it was like 900 degrees. Anyway, that should finish that video. So thank you guys for watching.